dear friends, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. You're fine, I hope so. You're happy, I hope so. Welcome on my YouTube channel, Topics with Fayaz. And our topic for today is why do we need a good education? So let's start for our topic today. This is the life story of a millionaire and a famous personality, and the author is Tracy. He on himself tells his story about himself, that how he started his journey to success. I was told that if you don't get a good education, you won't be successful. If you don't get a good education, you won't go to college, you won't get a good job, you won't marry well, and you will just have to struggle. This is used as a threat to encourage people to do better as students. However, what I absorbed is that if I didn't get a good education, then I have missed the boat, and I all could do is laboring jobs. And that's what I did. I worked at a variety of laboring jobs, and my only thought was I didn't graduate from high school, so I'll just seek out more laboring jobs. I worked in sawmills, I worked in the brush with a chainsaw, I worked on farms, on ranchers, or worked in factories, I worked in sawmills stacking lumber, I worked digging ditches, all basically joy jobs, minimum wage jobs. The minimum wage was much lower than it's today. I kept believing this when I could no longer find a laboring job because of the economy. I got a job making sales 100% commission, working from door to door. I worked at that for months and months, and then I had a turning point in my life. I will never forget it. I noticed that one of the guys in our office who was selling the same product out of the same office was earning 10 times as much as anyone else, and he wasn't even working very hard. I was getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning and preparing. I was out there knocking on doors when people came to work at 8 o'clock or 8:30. I'd knock on office and industrial doors all day long. At night, I would go out and knock on apartment doors and on doors in the residential neighborhoods. I would maybe make one sale all day. This guy made 4 or 5 sales a day, and he had to start at 9:30 and quit at 4:30. Go out for lunch and went to nightclubs. He always had lots of money, and he was only about 3 or 4 years older than me. He was pretty casual. He didn't seem like a genius, he was just a nice guy. I went and asked him, "Why are you so much more successful than I am?" He said, "Show me your sales process and I will critique it for you." I said, "I don't have a sales process." He said, "A sales process is like a recipe or a success formula. If you don't have one, you are simply not going to be successful in preparing a dish or getting results." He showed me his sales process. It was pretty basic. When you meet a prospect, you just ask them questions. But when I met a prospect, I would talk at them as much as I could, try to get them interested in my product before they shut down and told me, "I've got to get back to work. Leave it with me and I will look it over." He said, "No, no, no. You have to separate prospects from suspects. You have to ask questions to find out if this person can actually use our product." I began to ask questions and I started to get better results. I went back to him and I said, "What else can you do?" He said, "Have you read any books on sales?" Book on sales? I had no idea there were books on sales. I went down to the bookstore and I started to buy and read every book from cover to cover and underline in them. Then I heard about audio programs on sales. Those were cassettes at the time, and I began to listen to audio cassettes every spare minute when I was walking around. Between calls, I would listen to an audio cassette on sales. Then I'd go into see a person and I would put it aside and remember what I learned on the cassette and I would try it out. Then I went to my first sales seminar. I learned two things here. Number one is that all success skills are learnable. You can learn any skill that you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. Before that time, I thought that my life was pretty much fated for underachievement because all I had ever done was work at laboring jobs and get fired. I slept on the secret and in my car. I slept on the floor at friends' apartments. Suddenly, I realized that your destiny is in your own hands, that you can learn any skill you need to learn. This motivated me then and it motivates me now. Whenever I see a subject that's of some interest to me, I pounce on it. Today, when I go on to Amazon, I find the highest rated books on the subject or the books that are recommended. I get read them from cover to cover, underlining that because I'm a teacher, a speaker, and a presenter, I start to incorporate these ideas into my seminars. My audiences come up to me and say, "Geez, I never thought of that before. That is a great idea." One of my clients in Stockholm came back to me 1 year later. He said, "That one idea in your business seminar has enabled us to increase our business 15 times in the last 12 months in a very competitive market. We just changed the whole focus of our business, as you recommended, to getting more and more referrals from happy customers. That means to go and look at every single pieces of our business, every activity, to make sure that every single customer was extremely happy. So happy they would spontaneously bring their friends after years of being in business. We grew our business 15 times. We are exploding with that one idea from your seminar. I paid $500 for it, and it's been worth millions to us." Study after study has been done at Harvard and other universities about natural intelligence, excellent grades, and so on. None of them have any correlation with success. There are people who came to this country with no degrees, no language skills, no money, no nothing, and today they are millionaires. There are people who came from the wealthiest homes who are driving taxis. There are people who grew up on farms who own their own multinational businesses. There's no correlation at all between education, skills, family, or even luck. It's all self determined by the individual. Every individual has within their abilities the capability of accomplishing extraordinary things. They just have to learn how to do it.